You too. It's Tone back with another one for you. And this one today is a continuation of Meet Your Strawman. Yo, this book is crucial. If you know anybody new to the whole game in general, share this shit, like this shit, so that way they can get access to it, or just send them the link or whatever on their cell phone or whatever. But this whole series of the Meet Your Strawman, I think, is a crucial part of the game that people need to understand because it helps you, understand the difference between you and your fictitious entity that we all have. You know what I mean? Because all of us have it. You just don't know that it's not you. So this helps you understand things better from more of a business aspect, so you can understand that it was always just business, so you don't take it personal, and then you can approach things properly from that point moving forward. This has to do with consent, and then there's also a little part in here about parking tickets and shit like that too. Which, if you have any problems with parking tickets or whatever, go look at my video for discharge any ticket. I've discharged 3 personal tickets of my own before I gave these motherfuckers my license back and said fuck them. You know what I'm saying? And they just fucking disappear too. The tickets just disappear. So, consent. All men are born equal, and so nobody has the right to command you, make demands, or force you to do anything. The most that anyone can do is make you an offer to perform. Even though they may say that this is an order or a demand or a summons, all they could really summons is demons, right? I mean, that's what the fuck people summons is demons. So it is in reality an offer which you are free to accept, not which you are free to accept or not accept as you so choose. This is why they keep using applications, registrations, submissions, and those things that give them power over you through the unwitting consent. They are hoping that you will break the law by the way that you deal with their offer. If you just ignore the offer, you are stepping into what is called dishonor, and that's what I was telling you too about the mail presentments and shit like that too. You can't just throw it in your desk and think that it's gonna go away. What you're doing is really fucking accepting their offer. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't send it back or fucking reject it, but you got to do something to it. So the only effective way of dealing with the offer is called a conditional acceptance, as already mentioned. If you accept their offer without imposing any conditions, then you are accepting that they have the power to order you around, and that places you under their authority because you have just chosen to accept their offer, right? So even though you may not understand that you are accepting their offer for them to have authority over you, that is basically what you're doing by acting like it never happened. That's what it is. So they also want to get you arguing with them, since that also places you in dishonor. And so that's what I'm telling you too about the court shit. If you're in court with tickets and all that shit, the path of least fucking resistance is gonna be to just fucking accept it for value and fucking return it for value. So you wanna learn how to make the money orders, hit me up, or even I'll get you in on the classes that are starting in like a couple weeks. Get on that shit. Just tell these motherfuckers, yo, look, send me the bill, get the bill, turn that shit to a money order and send that shit back. You don't gotta fucking sit there and argue with these people. That's how they're gonna get you fucked, for real. So use your head. So if there is a court case involved, I mean, do you want to be right, or do you want to just fucking make this shit go away? You know what I mean? That's what it is. So, sometimes I like to fight too. So I mean, depends on what you're trying to do. But just know how to fight. That's the fucking thing. For one, don't go in there arguing with them, because then you obviously don't know what the fuck you're doing. So remember, in civil cases, the court is a commercial operation where the judge doesn't care who is right or wrong, who will pay the court. So we accept all offers, but with our conditions attached to each offer, and that prevents them from taking us to court. Remember, courts only deal with disputes, and if you conditionally accept each offer, there won't be a dispute for them to have to mediate, right? So the court won't be getting fucking involved with that. So some offers are notices, and the notice has to be clear, unequivocal, and concise. So yeah, you just need to get to the fucking point, essentially, is what this is saying. So you can like I try to do with all these. Sometimes I ramble, but for the most part, I'm trying to get right to the fucking point. So you can discharge a notice by seeking clarification, that is by writing back, asking the meaning of a word, stating that you don't understand the word. They were hoping that you would just ignore the notice and go into dishonor and become liable. Like the last shit I sent to these people was fucking ridiculous, because I found out I had a warrant. I was like, yeah, right. How the fuck is that? So I sent them a letter, and I pretty much shit on them for the whole letter. It was just straight shit on them, you know what I'm saying? Which I probably shouldn't have did, but I did it. And so I told them in there, I'm like, I sent them my fee schedule. I let them know what was going on. I let them know all about their whole fraudulent fucking schemes, all the bullshit that they're getting into. You know, since we're throwing fucking stupid ass random claims around like they're doing, fuck, I did it too. So I did all that. I let them know that if they're gonna be fucking responding to me, it's gonna be in the form of an affidavit signed under the penalty, right? And you're also gonna be sending me copies of all your bonds and your oath of office for me to fucking accept to place back on file with my letter of intent to move forward with going ahead and placing a lien on your bonds upon an administrative process that would take place if they decided to move forward, and also for them to send me a $12,000 check because that's the price of my fucking fee. If they felt that I had to fucking entertain them for free, they're fucking out of their mind. So I'm like, you're gonna be sending all, you know, everything that I just mentioned. You're gonna be sending that along with a $12,000 check because I'm not entertaining you fucks for free. It's not happening. It's not happening. So, and I haven't heard nothing back. So we'll fucking see what happens when I go out to visit Mass in a few. We'll see what happens when I get some Mass in a few weeks. You know what I'm saying? Man, fuck these people, bro, for real. So let me see what we got here for the time. All right, so let's go to the next slide. I'll stop rambling. So a parking ticket is a notice, and please be aware that a parking ticket is not a bill, but instead it is a notice telling you that there is something which you should pay attention to. So you write back saying that you have noticed that they're noticed, and as they appear you think that you owe them money, you are happy to pay, but first you need some verification before payment is made. Now you don't have to argue with these motherfuckers. Just go ahead and watch the video that I did, or if you need it, send me an email and I'll send you a fucking example of a ticket that gets discharged. And you can just fucking discharge. You got 72 hours from when you get the ticket. They know when they gave it to you because the time and date stamped on the fucking ticket. And then they know when you sent it back because that's the date of the fucking notary. And then your certified mail letter counts as when you sent it back. You see how that works? So you have 72 hours. And as long as you're within that time frame, when you send it back, fucking rejected, they have to just rub that shit on their chest. It's really that simple. So sometimes it's just easier to fucking pay the bill. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've gotten tickets that were like $13. Cost me $15 to fucking send a bitch certified. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just fucking pay the shit. You know what I mean? So pick your battles. So first, there is a need to verify the debt. So please send me a bill with a human signature on it. Also, I need to see the lawful two-party contracts supporting that bill, right? We can't have unilateral contracts popping off over here where these motherfuckers think that they're just calling the shots and you just got to run with that. That's not how things work. Because he who brings or causes the controversy has to bring the remedy as well. So whoever brings the charge has to have a remedy. It ain't that, oh, you owe me fucking $1,000 and the only way to do it is by paying me in fucking installments. Yeah, right, bro. Yeah, right. How about no? And yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? So they can't just do that shit. It doesn't work like that. So as they can't supply either of those things, it kills the claim stone dead. So just keep insisting that they either supply those things or else they stop bothering you. So an interesting alternative is that if they send you a final notice marked remittance, then that piece of paper actually has the value of the money written on it. So the really silly thing that you have the option to write accepted for value on that piece of paper, sign it with your name and the date on it, and mail it back to them. And technically that concludes the matter by paying the amount demanded. So who was it that said it's a mad world? Actually, the payment comes out of the vast amount of money which a Strawman has accumulated over the years, and by signing the document accepted for value authorizes them to take the payment from your Strawman account that suits them well. That suits them as well as yourself. Writing accepted for value means that you are authorizing them to take the amount they specified out of the Strawman account, which has a large amount in it that the balance will be hardly affected at all. And see these, so these are your options here. You know what I mean? So you want to learn how to make the money orders? I even got examples of all this shit too, just in the fucking community area too. You can just find it in there. Examples of the stamp and all that. So check it out. So society, we come now to the very difficult subject of American society. I certainly don't know all the answers in this area. A society is a group of people who willingly join together and abide by a set of rules decided on by members of that society. Loosely speaking, the system which has been set up by commercial companies who have control of the United States is a society. It is a society which has good features and bad features as well, right? So common sense says that there is an advantage for any large number of people to organize themselves together and have skilled specialists provide paid services for the other members of that society. For example, having a communal collection to enable roads, water supplies, sewerage, and the like certainly makes sense. A national health service also looks like a good idea, as as does having social welfare benefits for those who are unfortunate enough to become ill or who are unable to find work. However, such things have been subverted by those in charge and maneuvered into a state where these things serve their ends rather than the needs for of the general population, which is crazy, right? And they like to say that you're taking a benefit from them if you're taking welfare and shit like that. Well, how the fuck is that a benefit if it's coming out of my fucking trust? Look, if they're asking you for a goddamn social, guess what? It's coming out of your fucking trust. That shit is not a benefit. The only real benefit that would be is you using them as a fucking middleman to be able to jack the fuck out of your trust. But aside from that, these motherfuckers ain't coming out of pockets to support any of that shit. That shit does not qualify as a benefit. Not to mention the fact that how the fuck could you take a benefit from your servant? That's like your fucking maid showing up at the house acting like you fucking owe them something. Bro, don't get crazy. Don't get crazy, bro. Do not get crazy, bro. So think about that. Let that shit sink in. So while a countrywide medical service sounds like a good thing, it has been reported that the price of some of the medicines supplied to the National Health Service now cost literally 10 times what they did 2 years ago. And I mean, it does that every year. So this looks like much as if the people are in control of that service are using it to make massive profits on pharmaceuticals. And probably many other services such as parking fees, where millions per year are made from people who have no option but to park in the hospital grounds. So what looks like a sensible arrangement appears to have been converted into something different. Perhaps this is an unduly cynical view, but it is certainly in line with many of the other scams which are being run. Income tax was introduced as a temporary measure in connection with a war. I already did that. I did a video on the W4. What the fuck does the W stand for? War. Okay? So if you guys want to stop seeing that fake ass war on TV, stop fucking paying for that shit. Really that simple. And who organizes wars? It has never been removed, and yet the country did not seem to have any major problems when there was no income tax. The employees of the commercial company which run the country, those people who take the title of member of Congress or some similar meaningless title, spend a lot of time thinking of new legislation, which if it can be introduced without too many people noticing it, it will become a statute. I suggest, and mind you, they can't just pass codes and statutes whenever the fuck that they want unless it's only for them. They can only pass codes and statutes for people that work for them. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, and if you ever see a law that is not fucking specifically addressed to you and your name's not in it, that shit does not fucking apply to you. Know that. And ask them to fucking provide. You know what I'm saying? Yo, ask them to provide you a fucking law that has your fucking name in it. You're not going to find one. That's because they're not even allowed to fucking address you. You know what I'm saying? But they'll make these blanket ass fucking commands like anybody gives a fuck for one. And then it's never fucking addressed to anybody fucking specific. You know what I'm saying? So ask them to be fucking specific and if they can find a law that has your fucking name on it. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Cut it the fuck out. I suggest that the main attention in all legislation is to provide a smokescreen to hide additional charges which members of the public are required to pay. An argument can be that you elected those politicians, so you must abide by whatever they dictate. This carefully avoids mentioning the fact that those politicians have nothing to do with the public other than giving the appearance that the public has some say in what happened, while in reality is that everything that happens is dictated by the non-elected owners of the companies in charge, which would be the shareholders and shit like that, right? So, and it doesn't matter if you fucking voted for any of these dickheads. The fact is that if something is going to fucking affect you in any way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly, you should have a fucking say. And it doesn't mean that you're fucking agreeing to be a fucking slave or to have overlord, okay, at all, ever, at any fucking point. And the funny thing is that you need to get in the habit of fucking mentioning all this shit when you talk to these dickheads, just to make sure that it's clear as to your fucking position at all fucking times. Because at any point, they can try and twist your words and construe some shit into you fucking accepting some type of contract with them by simply answering them. That's how fucking retarded these motherfuckers are. So, it is a game of chess. Stop playing checkers with these motherfuckers. That's what I got for you for now. Until we meet again.